Hello, Desiree. Is that pronounced correctly? Hello, Madeline. Hello, Damajarini Monastery.
Hi, Ayya. It's Paula. I'm here to support you today.
Hey, Paula. Paula, can you hear my voice okay?
Yes, Ayya, I can hear you great.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Chris. You missed a good meeting yesterday.
Hey, Aya. Sorry, I had to help my sister move.
Oh, I thought that was
Otherwise, I
last
would have been
weekend.
there.
That's this weekend?
Sorry?
Your sister's moving in this weekend? I thought it was
Yeah,
last.
this weekend.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Hello,
Well,
Nancy.
Good morning.
Uh, so we got a minute or less. Hello, Katie. Hello, Doug. Uh, so it's 12 o'clock. Let's just settle in, make yourselves comfortable. I'm going to wait another minute or two while people are joining. But we're going to have um, a 40-minute meditation today, since we're not going to get the usual Sunday afternoon sutta study due to the very special program at Berkeley and Dharma College. I'm going to allow for some questions. Hello, Nathan. Question and answer period right after our meditation, but we can meditate for, I'd say a good 40 minutes, give you a good grounding. Today is Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. And it's celebrated, I think it's celebrated in many countries. Dia de los Muertos is in Mexico. But All Souls Day is a Catholic day. So that would be US and Europe and wherever Catholics are. And it used to be Samhain, which is it's like everything back in the day. It's like everything is a harvest festival, right? So we don't really know what that was, but they call it a harvest festival now, and that turned into Hallowmass uh, when the church arrived, and the church meaning the Catholic Church, and then turned into All Saints Day, which was yesterday, and All Souls Day. But the thing that, hello, Elaine. The thing that I'd like to bring to your attention is that it was believed in the olden days that these days, end of October, very beginning of November, and maybe some stretching back into, see, what's the month that comes September? September, October, stretching from September into November, that what was believed was that the veils between the worlds were thin, or thinner than at other times of the year. So this is not something that I'm saying for you to believe. What I'm saying is that for this reason, I wanted to use Karuna, compassion, for our meditation today, so that we can uh, raise compassion. And we all know, we all have had dear ones that have passed away before us. Dear ones, including dear animals, um, dear humans. And so let's use this day, All Souls Day, Dia de los Muertos, to raise compassion for the passing on of our dear ones. And even if they're not dear, compassion can be raised for people that are acting in very stupid ways right now, because we know what might happen. And so we should have compassion for them also. So let's sit back. I think we've got a good little group here now. Let's sit back. We're going to meditate for about 40 minutes. I'm not going to guide it except just at the very, very beginning. So, but if you want to mute me anyway, you're welcome to. Just set your alarms or your ring for 12:44. Ooh, that's not going to give us a lot of time for questions. If you would like, as they arise, if you have a meditation question that you is burning and you want to like ask, put it in the chat, and so we'll get to those first. Otherwise, sit back, make yourselves comfortable, keep your back straight. You may close your eyes or leave them halfway open, looking down at the floor. And take a few deep breaths in through your nose. Observe that breath filling your lungs and bringing some fresh energy to your body, to your bloodstream, to your brain. And release. Release it all. Release all the stale air along with it. Do this a few times. See yourself filling up with fresh air. We're so fortunate to have air. We need this air. And then let go what your body no longer can use. Let it go. And as you exhale, just also let go of whatever is worrying you. Give yourself permission for the next while to just be. Just be. No doing, no thinking, no speaking, no acting out. And when you're ready, you can bring to mind a dear one who has moved on. If you don't have a dear one, you can also just visualize anything, a situation that brings up compassion, a picture, a memory. Compassion is the desire that no being suffer, that all beings be well. So it can be whatever you wish that to be. And as you feel the compassion arising in your heart base, put your attention on that energy. And with right effort, maintain it. You can use phrases. You can continue with your memory or of your dear one, of a situation, of a picture, flowers. Whatever is best for you to maintain that energy in your heart base. And whatever else arises, with right effort, we abandon that. Just focus on compassion. And then little by little, as that sense at the heart base grows, you can release the object that brought you that energy and just focus on the energy. Just compassion. May all beings be well. That includes us. May we be well too. So we have just over 15 minutes. There's nothing in the chat, so there were no burning questions while you were meditating, but do you have any questions now? When we sit down to meditate, we're cultivating concentration. And there are some lucky few that sit down and are able to attain to the unification of mind fairly quickly, fairly uncomplicated. And then there are some others that sit down and it's a real battle, even just to remember that we're sitting in meditation can be a real battle. But that's the point. You have to realize, I mean, this is a learning process. So the whole thing is a learning process. If the mind doesn't settle down, this is an opportunity to understand why. There's an assumption that we are just on this trajectory called the Noble Eightfold Path to reach the end, to reach the goal. But that's actually not the case. We're not going toward an end. We're just in the means. That's where everything happens on the way. So we sit down and we can't maintain our attention on our meditation object. So we investigate. Why? Where is your attention going? A lot of times our attention these days is better described as a lack of attention, unattention, inattentiveness. And that's because we multitask. Multitasking is held in high regard in our world to multitask. We hear about the soccer moms. They've got, 3.5 children, the minivan, they also work. The children go to school, and she's with those kids, dropping them off, picking them up, also working herself, cleaning the house, doing the laundry, and then taking them to all of the extracurricular activities. And this is something that is very highly regarded. And it's okay if everything goes well, right? But our brains get used to these chemical roller coasters. And so when we're not driving the minivan or multitasking at work, I mean, how many corporations are just letting go people? And so the ones that remain behind, who are supposed to be the lucky ones because they still have a job, have like half a dozen other tasks to do. So it could be anywhere. I just used the mother as an example. But when we're multitasking, the mind is used to going from one thing to the other, and watching all of these, observing all of these. And the mind can do that to a certain extent. But when we're meditating, that's not what we're supposed to be doing. We just, just the one thing, we're unitasking. And unitasking becomes very difficult when the mind likes to multitask. So this is we learn this And that's fine. We learn to start letting go of things, and it's a process, and it'll happen. It happens. And it happens when you least expect it. Your task, really, your uni task is to just try to maintain the mind on your meditation object. That's it. Breath, in and out breath, here, or at the abdomen. Karuna, heart base. Whatever your meditation object is, you can visualize it, you can consolidate it to one place, one thing, and that's all. That's it. Stay there. You go away, you come back. You go away again, you come back again. This is the process. And then when you least expect it, bam, you're there. The 5 hindrances have dropped. Once the 5 hindrances drop, then you're meditating. So we have to simplify, simplify, just, get rid of the, what do you call that on a boat when you start to let go of things because you're gaining water and you don't want to? Anyway, you just, something else comes up in the mind. You have given yourself permission for 45 minutes, for 1 hour, whatever time you have, to be there with that object. So during that time, you have permission to just let stuff out of there. Get it out of there. I mean, it may come back, but you get it out of there again. And just that, just over and over again. And it's little by little that we settle in, that the hindrances lose their charm. And the first one that will go, and it will go really well, will be doubt. Because you see, now I'm not talking about when the fetter of doubt is cut at Sotapanna, okay? But it's almost like that. Because you will experience the unification of mind. Go, it's true. This is how it is. I just focus on the meditation object. It doesn't matter what else is going on there. Just come back to it. So you're not looking actually to concentrate. You're just doing this unitasking, settling down the mind. And it happens. And you'll see. So that doubt, that 5th one, isn't going to come up very much anymore. And along the way, you'll learn your tools, your techniques to let go of sensual desires when they arise, let go of irritations, aversions when they arise. You will learn these tools. Each one is very different to you. I mean, what's worked for me may not work for you. So, but we learn. So, and this is when we learn, is in this process of, gosh darn, I can't concentrate. What is wrong with me? Then nothing's wrong with me. I just come back to this meditation object. That's it. And it's the simplest instruction you could possibly receive. What complicates it is our routines, our habitual energy, our way of doing things, our views. But the path is over 2,500 years old now. It's been proven over and over again. And actually, the Christian mystics practiced jhana. They believed it was the unification with God. So it's not even, actually, jhana is not even a Buddhist tradition. It was around before the Buddha. Remember his two teachers, Alara Kalama and Udaka Ramaputta? Taught him the seventh and the eighth immaterial absorptions. Jhana was not an invention of the Buddha. Vipassana was. And it's the same technique. And you don't even have to decide whether you want, tranquility or insight. No, don't even worry about that. Your mind's gonna choose one of them at the appropriate time. You just focus on your meditation object. So I've talked on and on and on again. 6 minutes. Any questions have arisen now since I'll stop talking? Questions? Okay, so I'll continue. We got a few minutes. But one more thing about the jhana and vipassana thing. I should have said that the vipassana is slightly a different strategy here. But in the beginning, you really need to focus on your meditation object. Once those hindrances start to drop and you have a longer span of time with your object, then the mind is entering deeper into deeper layers because it's calm. So things will start arising. And that, if you note that, like some weird thought comes into your mind, like, oh, where did that thought come from? So instead of going right back to your meditation object, you can investigate. Try to find where that thought come from. I mean, if it were your thought, would you even be asking this? So these are the little sort of like rabbit holes that you can enter and investigate. But once your mind is calming down, not now, or I mean, you're all fairly new to me as an audience. I'm fairly new to you. So I have really no idea what your meditation is like. So if your mind is calm, if you can stay with stay with the breath for a while, stay with compassion for a while. And for a while, I mean like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Then, if insight is more to your preference, then you can investigate some of these thoughts. Like you find yourself, all of a sudden, you're at the beach in Tahiti and you're drinking one of those little things with the umbrellas. How did you get there? You can investigate because, you were focusing on your breath. How'd that happen? What contact was it that led you to the beach in Tahiti drinking one of those little umbrella drinks? This is also something you can do. But if you start that way, then you're just going to be all over the place. You have to get to the point where you're stable enough with your breath or with your Brahmavihara object or whatever object you use. You have to be stable enough with it that if you want to pursue insight, then those thoughts will start to arise. But before that, you're just scattering yourself. You're multitasking again. We got to let go of that multitasking thing, at least for this, time that we're meditating, because the world is a multitasking sort of machine, and it'll pull us in even when we don't want to be in there. That's why there's the monastic life. But even the monastic life is kind of complicated. 1 minute. 1 minute. Questions? Wow, you're a great audience. I appreciate this. So everybody knows now. And so let's dedicate our merit. And let's dedicate our merit to those beings that we were thinking about and considering. Those beings that are in realms perhaps that are not desirable realms. The beings that are suffering right now. It's hunting season here. The other day there were 5 deer behind the Dhammasala. I haven't seen any deer for days. Let's expand our world and include all beings. May all beings be well. Akasata Chabumata Deva Naga Mahitika Punyang Tang Anumoditwa Chirangra Kantu Lokasasanam Chirangra Kantu Desanam Chirangra Kantu Mangparam Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. And if you're in California, you may want to go to Berkeley to the Dhamma College and see what's up over there. Oh, and Dhammadharini Monastery is saying there's no sutta study today. So, I mean, you're relatively free. Let's make it all the way. See you later. See you again.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you.
You're welcome, everybody. Bye-bye.